One thing about living in Santa Carla I never could stomach. All the damn vampires.
As we are still in transition from Halloween, going into Christmas, we're sort of still in that realm of unknown of what to watch. Just watch anything, don't you? But I like to watch things like Gremlins, things like that have got a bit of horror and a bit of Christmas, mix them together, maybe it's Krampus, something like that. But I'm going to speak to you now about the greatest horror movie, Christmas horror movie, of all time. Not just past time, not just future time, not just any time, but of all time. And that movie is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Now I know what you're thinking. Which Christmas Carol movies are you on about? There's been that many, and there's been loads of spin-offs as well. But I'm going to talk about the main movies. I'll go down from the list of what probably I think's from the worst. We'll bring it down all the way to the number one, Christmas Carol. Well, Christmas Carol is about Scrooge. Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge. He hates Christmas. He hates people. He hates people that don't work. He hates the homeless. All he cares about his whole life is money. Money. He worked for Marley. He cared about money, not as much as Ebenezer. And all he cares about is money. He doesn't care about any type of Christmas spirit. Now in the movie, 3 ghosts come to visit him. The ghost of Christmas past, that takes him into his past, shows him when he's a kid at school, trying to rekindle sort of that Christmas spirit, the youthness that he used to have. Maybe he's rekindled some kind of love and passion. Then you've got the ghost of Christmas present. He shows around him how sort of everybody thinks he's kind of a joke to everybody. Yes, he's rich. In front of him, they respect him, but behind his back, they don't really like him. He's kind of a bit of a joke. The ghost of Christmas future, showing that if nothing changes, this is what's going to happen to you. Now there is a ghost that comes before all these ghosts, and that is the ghost of Jacob Marley. And he comes just to basically warn him that he's going to be visited by 3 ghosts. 1 on the first stroke of midnight, 2 on the second stroke of midnight, and the 3rd on the 3rd stroke of midnight, I think. So I have chose 8 movies. 8 Christmas Carol movies. There's more. There's more little spin-offs and everything. But I've chose 8. And at the bottom of the pile, they're all still good. They're all still worth a watch, man. I'm not knocking any of these movies. If I say yours is down here and it's maybe your favourite. But the one starring Albert Finney. It's from 1970. It's basically in black and white. I do think it's been changed to colour now. But that is probably the worst one. And I still like to watch it. I watch all these movies, to be fair. Do I watch all 8? Sometimes I have been known to watch all 8. I do like watching my Christmas movies. But Albert Finney's down there at the bottom. It's black and white. It is good. Brilliant acting in it.
Christmas! And he sends his best to you too, Governor! Now for Christmas!
And back.
Now in 7th place, probably is the one starring Tim Curry. It's just a cartoon version. He just plays like a voiceover. It's alright. It's not bad. I think that movie was from 1997. About 1997. It's alright. There's 2 cartoon movies. That's probably the worst of the 2. Actually, 3 of them. 3 of them are cartoon movies. And the next one, I'll put in 6th place, is a cartoon movie. And that one is with Kate Winslet. It's got some good music in. She sings a good song there. She's got quite a good voice. I think Nicolas Cage is one of the voices as well. It's really good, really worth a watch. Obviously, it just takes you through the whole Scrooge story. If you've seen one, you have basically seen them all. Maybe it's apart from 2. 2 stand out above. Now in 5th place is the next cartoon movie. Probably the best of the 3 cartoon movies. And that is the newest one that came out about 2009. I'm sure it was 2009. And that one was with Jim Carrey. And I just like the way he does the voice of me. He's always going to be a good voice actor. A decrease the surface population. It's really good.
What's today, my fine fellow?
Today? What Christmas Day?
It's Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night.
Now in fourth place, and this was a hard one between fourth and third, I put this one in fourth, starring Patrick Stewart, Jean-Luc Picard. I put him in fourth place. His acting's brilliant in it. I think it's a really, really good version of it. Excellent. But the one I put third basically just because of nostalgia reasons. But Patrick Stewart, Jean-Luc Picard as Scrooge.
You wish to remain anonymous. You wish to be left alone. It's Christmas time to you, but a time for paying bills without money. A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer. A time for balancing your books and finding every item dead against you.
So the next version that I put in third place is the one starring George C. Scott from 1984. Like I say, I put this guy in third place. I put this movie in third place. Basically, just because of nostalgia. Growing up, I'm an 80s kid, born 1981. This came out 1984. I've watched it since 1984, and that led up to now. So he always sort of was Scrooge to me. He was the embodiment of Scrooge. If I thought of Scrooge, his picture would come to my mind.
Doubted that. You always were a good man of business. Business! Mankind was my business.
Okay, so now we're up to number 2. And you're probably thinking, which ones are left? The top 2's left. In second place, it's not called A Christmas Carol. It's called Scrooged with Bill Murray. In this, it takes sort of a different spin on it. He's a producer or a director. He's directing the show A Christmas Carol and then ends up getting visited by his own ghosts. And I think, is it the ghost of Christmas past? I'm sure it's like the woman fairy and she's always hitting him on the head and stuff. I just think that this is brilliant. It's a brilliant take on it. And I've watched this also since it came out every year. It's quite dark. He's quite dark character. It's also got, what's that guy called? I can't think of his name. He was in there, the police academies. It's got him in and he's going around going nuts. Absolutely brilliant movie. And that is why it is at my number 2.
To old times, my friend. Oh my God. It's Lou Hayward, your old boss.
My number 1, and I do have it on DVD. It's the only Christmas Carol I do have on DVD. It's by far the best. It's Marley and Marley, our hearts are painted black. A Muppets Christmas Carol. Now Michael Caine plays Scrooge in this, Ebenezer Scrooge. But it's sort of told by Gonzo and his little rat friend. And it's just brilliant the way they go about it with all, they're bringing in all, it's not Walt Disney. They're bringing in all the music. It's very Christmassy. Everything's Christmas to the max in this one. Brilliant music. I have just put it, one of the songs as my alarm for waking up in the morning, which is the song that Tiny Tim in Kermit sings. He's carrying him on his shoulder. 'Tis the season to be jolly. And I put that as my alarm. I got wrong off my wife. She was saying, you better switch it off. I was like, I'm not switching it off. You've got to get into the Christmas spirit.
'Tis the season to be jolly and joyous. Fa la la, with a burst of pleasure we feel it right. Fa la la.
Of course, Kermit the Frog, he plays little Bob Cratchit. And he's married to Miss Piggy. I know, it's good. It's good. If you haven't seen this, why are you still watching me? Go and watch it. Go on. No, stay till the end. Stay till the end. And also subscribe. A Muppets Christmas Carol, Michael Caine, Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy. There's the box. I'm trying not to get shine. I got shine last time when I put disc. It's a Walt Disney production. Absolutely awesome. 'Tis the season for love, laughter, and one of the most cherished stories of all time. Join Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, and all the hilarious Muppets in this merry, magical version of A Christmas Carol.
In the air this evening, magic in the air.
Now, I know I said George C. Scott when I think of Scrooge as the embodiment of Scrooge, but when this came out, and this is now my Christmas Eve movie, I mean, I've watched this every year now, every year without fail, and this is my Christmas Eve movie. I like to watch this. I like to watch Santa Claus the movie on Christmas Eve. I'm starting to watch Daddy's Home 2 as well, because I think that's absolutely brilliant, hilarious. But this is definitely my Christmas Eve movie. I won't watch this. I know I say to watch this in November, but for me, this is my Christmas Eve movie.
Oh boy.
Do you think it's safe for us to be up here?
Scrooge is saved. What can happen now?
Yeah.
So The Muppets Christmas Carol is number 1. I'll definitely give that a watch. Depending what's on Netflix, because I don't really watch normal TV anymore. I don't like watching live TV. I always watch Netflix or Amazon or YouTube. But if whichever one of the other A Christmas Carol is on TV, I'll probably just watch one of them, whatever's on Netflix, Amazon. But I'll definitely give that a watch. That's why I've got on DVD, in case it's not on Netflix, so I can watch that at my own leisure. So I'm Mark, and this is For the Love of Movies. Thanks very much, and Merry Christmas.
And the worst of the worst,
The most hated and cursed.
is the one that we call Scrooge.
Bah, humbug.
Wherever you find love, it feels like Christmas.
Like an angel on your shoulder, see? And if you ever get hurt and you feel that you're going down, this little angel is going to whisper in your ear. He's going to say, "Get up, you son of a bitch! Because Mickey loves you."